This is one of the busiest weeks all year.
I'd
Good
like
Lord.
stuff to stop happening a little bit.
All day today.
I'd love to give the attention that Kristi Noem's big-titted cross-dressing husband deserves, but I physically cannot.
Trump told some aides that he's willing to end the U.S. military campaign against Iran, even if the strait remains mostly closed. So WTI, which is it stands for West Texas Intermediate, but it just went above 100 per barrel. Every time I see it discussed as being sweet, I'm like, there's no way it's pertaining to taste.
So Ben got himself some and tasted it.
Put it on my tongue. It is sweet. That's exactly why.
He liked what he tasted.
And then you've got the other thing, which is Brent crude oil, which is still considered light, but it's got more sulfur than West Texas.
I like how you're so hung up on the taste stuff.
It
maybe
tastes a little better.
Maybe the only guy right now talking about oil who's hung up on the taste.
On the taste. I gotta know what it tastes
Everyone's
like.
going, what is the global economy going to do? Ben's like, just found this out. It's actually sweeter. It is actually sweeter when
It
they're
is
saying
sweet to the taste. Oh, wow, we're matching again. We're both wearing gray.
I know. I would have taken my thing off, but it's too cold.
No, it's okay if we're matching.
No.
We should match every week.
No, I was going to say we would match, but it's too cold in here.
Week. Hey, people are here now, so.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We've got a effing-tastic episode for you today. This is one of the busiest weeks all year.
I'd
Good
like
Lord.
stuff to stop happening a little bit.
All day today.
I was
just,
joking last night. So maybe it was like the Daily Mail or someone posting.
You were joking last night?
I was joking. Posting about how the Charlie Kirk bullet doesn't match the gun or whatever.
Misleading.
And it's like, there's too much shit going.
Yeah.
You can't do that right now.
Also,
okay?
it's a misleading
I
headline.
know.
Yeah.
But it's like, just stop. Okay.
You read the Daily Mail?
No, it came on Twitter.
I read the Daily Female, so.
Kristi Noem's husband, you got to do your big titted cross-dressing thing another week.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man.
The time.
I feel bad for him. That's not fun to have. I know that his wife is.
I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm just saying there's too much going on.
No, I know.
I can't properly. I'd love to give the attention that Kristi Noem's big titted cross-dressing husband deserves, but I physically cannot.
Yeah, that's. Well, we're maybe we'll talk about that in the bonus or something. But hey, comment of the week is back, so stay tuned for that. We're going to do that at the end of the episode. Yeah, let's see. What are we talking about? We're giving you the latest things with Iran, the oil crisis ticking time bomb, and it's actually pretty fascinating stuff. We're going to explain what you're going to be such a dang expert on oil. You're going to be like Daniel Plainview. And
Ben's got a little prop on his table. TSA is getting back pay right now, but Ben is going to show you, even with TSA, how you can get a box cutter on the airplane.
I'm going to test
so
this.
You're going to want to stay tuned for that at the end of the episode when Ben shows you. And hint, it is going inside your body if you want it on the airplane.
Let's see. What else do we have? We've got just some market updates, just too much stuff, man. We got too much. By the way, did you know that TSA stopped a guy trying to get on a plane? It was a military guy in Palm Springs today. They found an unexploded ordnance or something.
And he's
that's
fuck.
Shoot, that's fuck. Yeah. No, he found it. I found it in a field somewhere, and I thought it was a dud, and I'm taking it home. And then they said that they took it out into the desert and blew it up, which is fun.
That's cool.
That's a cool job, man.
TSA got to do that?
No, I think it was like the bomb squad.
Oh, okay. That's got to be the best day. You're checking passports and they're like, hey, you got to go blow this thing up.
Okay, hey, I'm taking 5.
I haven't been paid in 6 weeks.
And then for people who subscribe to benandemilshow.com, we're doing our Q&A today. So if you missed it, there's always next month.
Lots of good questions. Lots of
good
fun
questions.
Stuff.
We're also going to be opening mail, so that'll all be on benandemilshow.com.
And you're not going to make an opening female joke.
opening female. No, I already did it with Daily Mail,
And
Daily
it kinda
Female.
crashed and burned
Man.
anyway.
There's just so much going on. So why don't we get into it, shall we?
I don't even know how to get into this. I've been accused of scaring the hose lately, I will say.
Yeah, man.
In real life, people are fully like, you're scaring the hose. People bring up how they're like going to Europe in April or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you might want to be prepared to like get stuck there. And people are like, don't say stuff like that. Well, it's like, I'm just saying I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it's maybe
It's greater than zero.
It's maybe something to think about.
Yeah. And don't worry, folks. We're gonna lay out our theories on what can happen, our predictions and whatnot, and you might end up feeling a little bit more calmed down, maybe, or
Depending
more
on
panicked
which one you believe.
on who you want to believe. And by the way, these are just opinions, and
I don't know what to believe.
Same.
I feel bad and pulled in a lot of different directions, and what I mostly am is just like hoping that our idiot moron president
dies.
Just can somehow take the L and walk away or something.
hope he
I don't
gets
even know. I
impaled.
don't know.
I want to see him get impaled.
That'd be sick.
That'd be nice.
I'm
man.
down for an impalement.
Yeah. So let's start off with the ticking time bomb of let's click that link here. There was a analyst from JP
Morgan.
I believe it was JP Morgan. Yeah. Let's click that thing. It's a map for the audio listener. Oh God, it's a map of the world. It's the Mercator projection. So it's not the most accurate, the one where it looks like Russia is massive.
Greenland is not that big.
Greenland is not that big, but it is the ticking time bomb from the world supply of oil, according to a briefing note from JP Morgan. Physical scarcity of oil is about to unfold across the globe, spreading sequentially from through April from east to west, causing major economic disruption worldwide. So the reason is, it was kind of interesting because I didn't even really think of this. I'm like, wait, how is it taking so long? It's because all those ships are still out there. When this whole thing started, there were still ships out on the water traversing the
It's also a conflation.
oceans.
It's a conflation of different things because yes, I mean we're going to start seeing it, and we already have. Asia was kind of the first ones whose shipments arrived last or first, and so you're seeing their pretty serious shortages and the consequences of that. But also there was a bit of a buffer between, I think they released globally somewhere around 500 million barrels of oil from reserves, and then also some.
They just dump it in the ocean.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, get a straw.
And then also some sanctions relief on Iranian and Russian oil.
Yeah.
So those initial first couple of weeks where everyone was like, oh, maybe we're going to have horrific consequences, had huge buffers.
Mm. And yeah, as we see here, most deliveries stopped to Asia and Southeast Asia on April 1st. Then moving west, you've got South Africa and Western Africa, March 20th through April 1st. Europe, April 10th. And then for us, number one in the world, April 15th. Oh, and then Australia, April 20th. So there's all stops from April 20th.
But Australia's been having their own troubles before, much earlier than this. So
yeah, a lot of diesels not flowing down there. Having a hard time.
Last I saw with Australia, it was about 600 fuel stations.
But if anybody can handle it, truly, it's Aussies. They can handle this.
No one can. That's the thing. People.
Well, like the temporary shock.
Yeah, let's hope it's temporary.
Well,
people do those funny. There was some oil guy taking questions, and someone was like, "What do you do to prepare for if we hit $200 a barrel?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't prepare for it. Everything just comes to a grinding halt."
I don't think that we could ever get to
$200 a barrel.
If we did, it would be very brief. Because then the laws of supply and demand would dictate that it would have to come down for people to want to buy it again, I think.
But if the supply gets that short,
sure,
that's the problem. We have no control over that.
True, but we got to remember that it's not all of the world's oil coming from there. It's a portion of it, and it is dictated by OPEC.
It's not, but from what I'm seeing experts talk about is if this continues, you're still talking about cutting anywhere from like 10 to 12 million barrels of demand. So that's got to come from somewhere.
Right. Well, if you're following all these headlines, you might be a little confused, and I'm kind of pissed at myself for never looking this up. But there's basically two benchmarks for oils, for the price of oil. You got WTI, and which sounds like a alien
I mean, this is just so with each
sex disease. WTI.
This is Jefferies analyst Lloyd Byrne. With each passing day, an estimated 11 to 12 million barrels per day of oil, condensate, and refined products is not reaching global markets. That's out of around 100 million barrels per day of global oil production and about what 2 Indias would consume. During the 1970s oil shocks, the supply shortage was roughly 4 million barrels per day. So, like, that's not getting replaced.
Right.
That's a massive amount.
Right. I just don't think that we are likely to see 200 sustained.
I'm not saying we will.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we will. It's just we're on a bad path currently.
So WTI, which is it stands for West Texas Intermediate, but it just went above 100 per barrel yesterday, I believe, and it is it's classified as light sweet crude.
Also for the first time in a long time.
For the first time in a long time.
Big benchmark it hit.
It is the benchmark for North America. It is our light sweet crude oil. It mostly comes from this area called the Permian Basin in like western Texas, which is wild. It's like our biggest oil field in America. And every time I see it discussed as being sweet, I'm like, there's no way it's pertaining to taste.
So Ben got himself some and tasted it.
Put it on my tongue. It is sweet. That's exactly why.
He liked what he tasted.
Those old timey prospector guys, when they would be digging around for oil, they would taste it, and I don't know why they're tasting it. Like
it's the 1800s. What else are you gonna do?
Also, isn't it fucking poison? Like, what are you doing? How sweet are we talking?
They knew nothing.
I guess, yeah.
You've got a modern
so like, stop calling it sweet.
perspective.
Why would we still call it sweet? It's so outdated and silly. But that's apparently easier to refine for gasoline. And I didn't know this either, but the main like crossroads in America for all of that physical exchange and for the price settlement of it is in Cushing, Oklahoma. Do you know that?
I did not know
35 pipelines go converge at Cushing, Oklahoma. Just pipelines, man. I believe 20 inbound and 15 outbound. And they've got 16 massive storage terminals. Man, if I were a terrorist, that's certainly where I would look first. You know, if I was piloting drones. I'm not saying I want that. I definitely don't want that. I sound like Tucker Carlson there. I'm not saying I want that, but that's certainly where I would look. That's certainly where I would look. But and then you've got the other thing, which is Brent crude oil, which is still considered light, but it's got more sulfur than West Texas.
I like how you're so hung up on the taste stuff.
Maybe the
only guy right now talking about oil who's hung up on the taste.
On the taste, I gotta know what it tastes like.
Everyone's going, what is the global economy going to do? Ben's like, just found this out. It's actually sweeter. It is actually sweeter when
it
they're
is sweet to the taste. And it's called Brent because I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it called Brent? Was there some guy named Brent? And it comes from, I believe it was named after. What did we looked it up? It was named after a goose or a type of bird. By the Shell Corporation, because they were the ones who found it in the 70s in the North Sea. It's another oil field.
But that's really the one they're going by.
That's the international global.
When you see people talking about oil just hit $115, that's probably the Brent.
Yeah. So if this all continues, and this war, what's it good for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything that you know and love will get hit. Shipping, manufacturing, agriculture, because you got helium going through there. You got liquid natural gas. You got fertilizer.
Also, I want to be clear. Even if it stops today,
Yeah.
that stuff's going to hit.
It's going to take a while to make its way through.
Qatar's liquid natural gas.
Mm-hmm.
They said 70% of their output is affected for the next 3 to 5 years. So that's already.
They should get your mama out there.
You're gonna feel that impact
to fill up those
because she's farting.
Natural gas
Ben
things.
saying
Yeah,
your mom's farting.
your mama.
And she should harness that.
Hey, gang, we want to talk a little bit to you about something very important to the boys. It's the boys. It's hair. You know, you gotta be hair maxing. You can't be bald maxing or hair thinning maxing, and that's where Hims comes in. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Its doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You know, my little brother did this stuff, and he took his head from being pretty much bald to he got his hair back.
It's surprising.
It is very surprising. The science is there now, folks.
And look, you shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Find the right hair regrowth treatment for you with flexible subscription options, access to 24/7 provider support, and once-a-day treatment options that fit your daily routine. Think of Hims as your digital treatments front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted for real health concerns. All in one place.
For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/bays. That's hims.com/bays for your free online visit. hims.com/BAES. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. But everything is affected by this, and it's kind of a not a wake-up call, but it is pretty wild.
Wake-up call is the understatement of the century. I mean, we are watching a complete reordering of everything. I mean, people, whether or not they want to or not, countries are allies of ours are
pissed,
are having to rethink their relationship with us. Yeah. I mean, we should put up do we have the Donald Trump truth?
Which one?
The one that kind of set off the...
If you find it, while he finds it, I think it's really funny to note that in 2020, Cathie Wood, who we love to hate on here, the famous hedge fund manager, made a prediction that 2020 was the year of peak oil and that it was never going to see over $100 a barrel again. And in fact, in a few years, it'll probably drop as low as $17 a barrel because Elon Musk was going to make everything electrified.
Well, Cathie Woods is not the prophet she thinks she is. But Donald J. Trump says all of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the United Kingdom, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, I have a suggestion for you. Number 1, buy from the U.S. We have plenty. And number 2, build up some delayed courage, go to the Strait and just take it. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there for us. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Go get your own oil. President DJT.
Jesus, man. That piggybacking off of that, some good news that...
Wait. Let me just make the point here because...
I was being sarcastic. It's not good news.
Well, no, I know. But the reason I bring this up is that all these companies are starting to see what it actually means to be an ally of the United States right now. A big one was the fact that Spain was early on was like, hey, you're not going to use our air bases for this. We want no part in this. So Spain said they're not going to allow their air bases to be used.
Right.
Iran said, okay, then we'll let your ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz if you're not going to take part in this horrific illegal war. Other people are looking at that and going, hey, maybe that's not such a bad idea. And in that time, Italy has denied the U.S. using their bases.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to let them use the base in Sicily. France refused Israel use of its airspace to transfer U.S. weapons for Iran war. This is Carsten Brewer, the chief of the German defense staff. Germany no longer regards the USA as a reliable defense partner.
Yeah.
We are assuming conflict with Russia in the next few years is inevitable. We are rearming. And, that's then just factions within these countries are seeing what's going on. The AfD in Germany, the far right party, now wants to break with America. They said, we will not free the Strait of Hormuz with the Navy. We must not serve our soldiers as targets. Spanish ships are allowed through because Spain closed its bases for the Iran war. Spain is not interfering in this war, and that is right. We must begin implementing what is written in our basic program, the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Germany. Poland also is telling them to fuck off when America's asking for more Patriot missile batteries. It's, you're seeing unprecedented. I genuinely can't believe, I'll watch things on TV, the people on CNBC. You just cannot even begin to fathom the things you're seeing and hearing.
There's just so much information coming from all different angles and so many factors that go into all this, the calculus of all this, in terms of having a good grasp on the whole picture and what's going on and what can happen. But yeah, it's us alienating ourselves to the delight of Donald Trump.
Well, Trump keeps saying, putting things up like this,
fuck you.
Last week he was begging them to help and he was going, well, you guys need it more than us. And that's true. But they didn't close it. You guys went and did this.
Yeah.
Then it became the goal of this war was to open the Strait of Hormuz, which was open before you started this war. And now you're seeing that's going to be much more difficult. There's the reporting in the Wall Street Journal that he was telling his aides he just wants to walk away even if the Strait of Hormuz is closed. And with stuff like this, you're like, maybe he really does want to just walk away and go, Europe, you deal with it. And Europe's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Maybe that'll force you guys to get your shit together.
I mean, honestly, I think it'll just
part of the deal.
Reorder, if he truly does walk away, I think Europe would just pay the price that Iran is asking for passage through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah. So Trump did this interview with the Financial Times, and on, I believe it was Monday. Yeah, Monday or Sunday, excuse me. And there's a few quotes from it. He said, to be honest with you, my favorite thing is to take the oil in Iran. But some stupid people back in the U.S. say, why are you doing that? But they're stupid people. Maybe we take, is it Karg Island?
I think it's Karg, but
Karg?
I don't know.
Maybe we take Karg Island, maybe we don't. We have a lot of options. He says that we could take it easily. He doesn't think that they have any defense. But then he says that he's talking to a new, more reasonable Iranian regime. And he still emphasizes, as of this interview, a lot changes every single day. He says that they have until April 6th to make a deal or he's going to blow up their power infrastructure and water desalination. And then when they asked, what's her name? Catherine Levitt? Mm-hmm. Kathleen? Whatever the fuck. The press secretary. She just always says, the president has been very clear on this. It's blah, 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 blah.
Well, now when they're asked, they're going...
No, he's not being clear.
From the beginning, he said it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks. We just hit 30 days. So what does that say to you, how much longer we're going to be in there? It's nothing, honestly. That says nothing. Iran just issued more threats saying, because you've targeted our people in their residences, we're going to start targeting your people in residences across the Middle East. And I believe they hit someone today. They were issuing threats to American companies in the Middle East. So it's really, last night we were texting and I honestly had a moment of probably irrational joy where when you texted the Wall Street Journal had those first reports that he was telling his aides that he's willing. Trump is just willing to walk away. Mm-hmm. I was going, good. Obviously, this is an absolute. It'll go down if he walks away. It will still go down as an absolute disaster. He has met no goals. He's just completely disrupted shit, destroyed a lot of stuff. But that is the best case scenario. Mm-hmm. Please just wind this down before it gets even worse.
Yeah.
But then obviously today it's just more of the crosstalk where it's going to be, he says a million different things about what he wants to do, and
that's kind of my prediction, is that because Iran wants reparations for compensation for all of the damage that's been done, and that's been like one of the key things that they're asserting. And it's my best read of it is that they are going to reopen the strait and do the toll thing. It'll be however much more per barrel of oil, and they will use that money to rebuild everything that was damaged, and that'll kind of be it. I don't think that they're going to prolong any kind of closure of this. If we were to pull out, I don't think that they're going to like prolong. It would be unnecessary and needless pain. We all already understand that they are in charge of this, and that it all goes through them. They've made that clear. They've succeeded there. But yeah, like you said, so as of Monday night, I'm sure you guys have seen this by now, but Trump told some aides that he's willing to end the U.S. military campaign against Iran, even if the strait remains mostly closed. He assessed that the mission to reopen Hormuz would push the conflict beyond that 4 to 6 week headline, which he doesn't want. He believes that the U.S. should achieve the main goals of just destroying Iran's navy and missile stockpiles. He thinks that we can wind down while pressuring Iran diplomatically, and if that fails, we would pressure the allies in Europe and the Gulf to take the lead on reopening the strait. So it's basically he's going to be able to claim the win for his base, which is all that matters to him, really.
Which, fine, I don't care.
Yeah,
Let
I don't
them
care
say
either.
it's a victory. That's there was the new polling about how now I think broadly across all party affiliations, there's about 30% of people still supporting the war in America, and the pollsters,
all MAGA people.
Well, that's the thing. They were like, at this point, I don't think it could go any lower. I think that's about what you'll see. The breakdown among Americans. There's like maybe 30% of people are diehard MAGAs, and they're not gonna. We've seen in about a decade of this, I guess, decade plus, that they don't really get shaken from the MAGA line. So that's about as low as you're going to get.
Yeah.
And
he's going to be able to say, we did achieve our goals. If you remember, our goals were to destroy their military capabilities and their missile stockpiles. We did it.
But did they?
And we're out. Yeah, their Navy and their air, like they have been pretty much.
They're hitting more than ever.
But those are just like smaller.
But that's the thing. It doesn't matter. This whole thing has been asymmetrical.
But from Trump's perspective, he's going to be able to twist that and make it. Yeah,
he can say that, but that is just not true. If anything, all he's done is display to the rest of the world that America's military capacity was a bloated, weird mess, a massive gift to the defense contractors who that is essentially useless. I mean, what is Iran's military budget? Like $10 billion?
A fraction of ours, for sure.
A fraction. Like, Trump is out there on TV going, I want $200 billion more on top of our like $1 trillion. And they're just using some drones and some.
It's people have been starting to float it that it could be his Vietnam if this continues, or his fucking Iraq or Afghanistan, whatever you want to.
But this is like a massive. I think that doesn't even begin to.
There's so many layers
describe
to it.
How he's fucked this up. He might literally. So Iran's talking about how they wanted to push America out of the Middle East, which they might achieve.
Mm-hmm.
They might literally push America out of Europe. I mean, these countries are literally talking about how we don't want these American bases on our soil, and you can't blame them. They're a liability. Hey guys, we got to take a quick break to talk to you about Shopify. Okay, we've been talking to you about Shopify for so long, but it's one of our biggest sponsors for a reason. We use it. It helps us greatly. One of our biggest we had all these what ifs when we went out on our own. It was like, what if we don't know how to do this? What if we don't know how to do that?
What if we stink? What if we can't get this thing off the ground?
And
what are we going to do?
Shopify had us for one of our very, very big what ifs. How are we going to even figure out how to turn on an online store, sell merch, do it in person? What are you POS systems? What are you talking about? They had us covered from
start to finish, man.
Start to finish.
You can accelerate your efficiency, whether you're uploading new products or trying to improve existing ones. You can get the word out like you've got a marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. And if you get stuck, Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support.
It's time to turn those what ifs into cha-ching with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Baze. That's BAES. Go to shopify.com/Baze. That's shopify.com/Baze, BAES.
Yeah, I mean, Trump, totally. And it would also, at first blush, it's good that we'd be pulling out and Iran would let Europe take the lead and do their own thing. What does that show the rest of the world? Hey, we don't need the United States. We can do our own thing. We can completely make our own deals with Iran
and China,
which would further isolate us. And then, yeah, like you just said with China, you better believe that China is watching intently and gathering as much data as possible about the efficacy of our weapon systems, our planes, our everything. They are watching intently, and they can do it without directly being involved. They're learning so much of what we can and what we can't do. Same with Russia. And there was also, I think there was some speculation that China was supplying the IRGC with intel and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Which is, yeah, totally.
And people are saying the Russians are providing more drones and whatever.
So here's a little speck of, some silver lining, because that's the thing is like depending on where you look. Right before I got in today, apparently the Pakistan foreign minister told Axios that China and Pakistan have presented a peace initiative that is going to be reviewed by both sides here, but.
The market's happy.
The market is very happy. So
the market is stoked right now.
Yeah, the market is very pumped.
It's okay.
Trump really, really went off and showed off his Alzheimer's disease skills this weekend at this Finn Institute thing. This is him talking about the Strait. Let's go ahead.
But they have to open it up. They have to open up the Strait of Hormuz.
To be fair, he probably is thinking about renaming it.
I'm so sorry. Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say, he accidentally said, no. There's no accidents with me, not too many. If there were, we'd have a major story. But they have to open it up.
God, he's such a bitch. And I don't mean like in a weakling. He is that, but he's also just like, he's serving,
He's catty.
He's catty. There you go. This is him talking about, in the same big, long speech, talking about China and what they do.
Talking about winning, Mr. President, the world is entering in a new economic era.
Jeez,
Who do
Pierre.
you think are the winners and who do you think will be the losers?
Are you talking about as nations?
Yes?
Yes.
Or sectors?
The United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world, by far.
By
We've
what
done it
metrics,
very
sir?
quickly, because we have a good system. Now, it's somewhat radicalized because the Democrats are really holding us back, and you better hope they don't get in because they'll destroy a lot of what we've built. But right now, the United States, as the future king of Saudi Arabia said, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. I must say, I respect China greatly because it's amazing that with a system that in theory shouldn't work, we go to school and we go to the best business schools and we do well in those schools. And we read about free entrepreneurship and we read about all of these different things. But, You look at China, how well they do, how well they manufacture. I mean, they manufacture cars so many that they actually have a contest for who can manufacture the least cars because they have so many cars. You have to have great respect for China for the job they do. Like them or not like them, you have to respect them.
It really does break the brain, watching a man not figuratively, literally destroying the world, setting the world on fire. And I mean that in the most literal sense, destroying infrastructure all across the Middle East. Talking about how, if you elect Democrats, they're going to destroy everything.
It's fucking wild.
All of these guys, Marco Rubio literally going on and being like, if the Iranian government would have just invested in their people and instead of weapons, we never would have been in this situation. It's like,
brother,
please,
brother,
you cannot.
And at the end of the day, I think that if there are people in Iran who now, given everything that's happened, are willing to move in a different direction for their country, that would be great. Imagine in Iran that instead of spending their wealth, billions of dollars supporting terrorists or weapons, had spent that money helping the people of Iran, you'd have a much different country. So we are always hopeful that that would exist over there.
You can't. It's not fair to do this.
If I were interviewing, I would say, "Excuse me, sir," and I would just lean over and scream.
It's too much.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. And Trump's thing about China. Yeah, sir. You want to know, because China has, I don't know, respect for its own people and a desire, the government doesn't want to just try to fuck its people there,
I mean,
they want to invest in them. They want to do it properly. They want to provide people with what needs to be done to make society good for everybody.
They're also clearly forward-looking. I mean,
yeah,
in a
instead
way that
of just like every man for himself, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, bitch. Helping others,
lib, loser.
Let's let instead of letting corporations just absolutely ransack us, they build high-speed rails and they don't. It's just
every day I wake up and I ask God why He let Iran invest in weapons and not its own people. We never would have been in this fucking mess.
And then lastly, here's this great clip. I mean, this one is just
missing right now. What is missing in leadership?
Well, it's winning. You got to win. I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, the one thing about sports is you break it down into, a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out if somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers, fortunately. It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
Missing right now.
Just an absolute loser.
Just on a biblical scale. Just the most antichrist type of personality.
Yeah, and look, this stuff is we're getting hit with this stuff already. I mean, we are very lucky. I've already said this, I think, in previous weeks because we're getting the high gas while other people are going to get shortages, and but that has a massive impact on people. We have like a massive precarious class. CNN is already running articles like fuel versus food. These Americans are cutting back to afford higher gas prices. And it's honestly just so sad to read. It's, the first woman is just talking about how she's skipping lunch to save enough money every week to absorb the costs of the higher gas prices. And that's going to just continue to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
We are not seeing the massive shortages yet in places like Europe, but they are, I think the European Commission has urged people to work from home, drive, and fly less, and for EU countries to urgently roll out renewables as it warned of a prolonged energy crisis as a result of the conflict in the Gulf. You're seeing, I think South Korea already instituted, they're already having it for their public workers.
Mm-hmm.
They have the last time they did it was during the Gulf War, 91. Basically, if you have a license plate that ends in a odd number, you can drive this day. If you have an even number, you drive the next day. They've already told people to take shorter showers. It's going to be bad.
Well, Iran. We should get down to what's going on now. What's going on today? The Iranian parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, has been really, really active on Twitter, and he's becoming more and more popular and more outspoken, almost to a curious extent, because his commentary feels like, I don't know, if English is presumably a second language, he's got such a command over the lingo, you know?
I mean, he could have someone writing it who's more familiar with Americanisms.
But he's basically calling out Trump and his whole game, and he tweeted, "Heads up, pre-market so-called news or truth is often just a setup for profit taking. Basically, it's a reverse indicator. Do the opposite. If they pump it, short it. If they dump it, go long. See something tomorrow? You know the drill." That was Sunday. That was Sunday.
Sunday afternoon.
And then Monday morning, sure enough, Donald Trump was tweeting some bullshit about the memes. Donald Trump was tweeting some shit about how we're making progress, but it's important to remember that guy's not in power. And then, did you see what the Iranian embassy in London said?
No.
The Iranian embassy in London said that the coffin industry in the United States is on the threshold of its golden age.
Dude,
If we were to invade, Karg Island, but so
I'm sure you've watched the little Lego movies they're making.
the Lego AI movies that they're making.
They go extremely hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a big AI slop guy, but I will when they release a new Iranian Lego movie, I'm seated.
So that's the thing. So let's get into our predictions about what we think could happen, what's really happening. Because it's basically at this point a he said, she said thing. Donald Trump says one thing, Iran, depending on who's speaking, says a totally different thing. They're saying, Iran is basically saying, there have been no official talks. We don't trust the United States whatsoever. And Trump is saying, oh, yeah, the new people in charge are totally reasonable. We're making all kinds of progress. And I mean, I was saying to you yesterday, that it's not that I think
you're hope maxing.
I'm not hope maxing. Well, kind of. So I think in the context of what happened today, it probably will help, because the market did bounce really, really hard today. Really hard. And there's a couple things at play. It's the end of the quarter. So a lot of pension funds and a lot of hedge funds and a lot of just traders out there are rebalancing their portfolios, getting into stuff that's cheap. And then there's this thing called the JP Morgan collar. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's basically a massive hedge that JP Morgan puts on the entire market. They do like they basically hedge against their massive multi-billion-dollar portfolio. And with them putting that on today, a lot of traders kind of piggyback it, and there's all sorts of reflexive flows that just kind of push everything up. And then mid-morning, this was fascinating. Mid-morning, you had a headline just start flying. I see the spike all of a sudden. I see the S&P just jump. It's already been up like 1%, 1.5%, and it jumped significantly more. And I'm looking, and a lot of Twitter accounts will take Newswire stuff and just repurpose it for Twitter. You know, that Walter Bloomberg guy that we've seen. And it said Iranian president, what was it? Iranian president wants to end the war,
but just wants reassurances.
Yeah,
that
reassurances.
It's not going to happen again. Which I do think is out of context.
It is. So that's the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, did he really say that? Holy shit! And I'm Googling it and stuff. I found one source from this random website from yesterday that had a longer interview with him. And it was a little out of context. He's basically reiterating stuff we already knew, that, like, fuck America. This is all bullshit.
Of course they want an end to it.
Of course they want an end to it.
No one is enjoying this.
But by then, I mean, this was like 10 minutes after it was posted. everybody's just, it's getting regurgitated. Then actual Bloomberg picks it up and everybody's just off to the races and the squeeze is on because so many people were short going into today. Everybody's like, on one side of the boat and now it's kind of going the other direction. And it's just, it made me, I didn't get pissed necessarily, but there were some major trades that went off a few moments before those headlines hit, which makes me think, not like a Trump insider trading thing, but some of these big Twitter accounts that know that they are one of the bellwethers, that can move markets, especially when the markets are looking for just the right thing. I think that they bought a bunch of call options and then tweeted that stuff that is accurate, but it's just a day late that nobody saw and nobody was talking
misleading.
about. And a little fully misleading.
Massively misleading.
But that's the thing is we are now getting into this phase of things where when everybody's talking about it and everybody is concerned, all of that is baked into the pie. And that doesn't mean that these things can't happen, but just in terms of the market, the stock market, because if you're looking at stuff in the next couple of weeks and you're like, holy shit, why is the market up when all of this stuff is happening? It's for that reason that like if everybody's had enough time to kind of digest this stuff, these the bad headlines begin to lose their efficacy over. It's like COVID. Back when we started bouncing off COVID, then you had like Omicron and all sorts of new shit coming out. The market didn't care because it was like, it's already been priced in. And the higher we go, the more people bet against it. And then that just becomes more fuel for more highs. And
now everyone's just waiting for any kind of good news. It's like when you texted the Wall Street Journal thing last night, I was like, great, I'm so happy.
Yes.
Like it's all, which is like, I shouldn't be because even if we're still going to get hit with something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's going to be a massive disruption.
Mm-hmm.
We've already obviously talked about the helium thing, aluminum. There's all of these different things that the
helium thing
are going to be brutal.
Obviously, we don't know shit about the semiconductor manufacturing industry and stuff and what bottlenecks are legitimate and stuff. The helium thing is real, but there were certain people. I asked Citrini last night. I tweeted him and I was like, hey man, what do you think about this helium thing? He's like, I'm not worried about it in the least.
Did he say why?
No, but someone else was also tweeting about it and saying like, it's really not that big of a deal. Yes, helium is used in these processes, but even though it's a bad thing, there's enough other sources elsewhere and I don't know, but it also could just be, I don't know, maybe they're wrong. You never know. It's really so confusing. But yeah, Donald Trump, this could be his fucking Vietnam. I don't know if he has it in him. His fucking narcissistic personality disorder. Is he capable of just saying, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is a loss. Can he take the L?
Yeah, I mean, I find it massively interesting. As someone who likes history, this will be unfortunately, this will be a thing that people, in decades, people are going to try to understand how this even happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to live through it, which is exciting for you. You get to watch it unfold in real time. I don't think it's going to be as Vietnam. I think it's going to have much greater consequences.
It's going to be his Iran. It's going to be a new benchmark.
Yeah, everyone wants to be like, and I'm guilty of it too. Everyone wants to be like, this is like in World War II. This is like in whatever. This is fascism like in Germany. It's just a new thing that you get to experience. We don't know what's going to happen, but you are watching some unprecedented things. Like that we never could have imagined happening.
Yeah.
All for nothing. That is the craziest thing. This was all for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, because I think maybe he got drunk on the Venezuela thing and all of the
100%.
W's he was racking up. Yeah. I think that Trump truly, when he's talking about, because I'm sure people have seen the reporting where he's some aides are also leaking the fact that he was saying he was getting bored with Iran, and then between this thing of when he's willing to walk away, I truly think By this point, Trump was expecting that him and Marco Rubio were going to be on TV talking about their latest victory in Cuba. And he's like, why the fuck am I not, why am I not, drinking a mojito right now? Well, he's a teetotaler, but why is Marco Rubio not drinking a mojito in Havana right now, talking about how we saved them from the radical commies?
Yeah.
But instead he's getting yelled at by everyone because, Heathrow Airport in London is like, I don't know, we might just have to ground all the air travel if it gets to that.
Okay, what I'm about to say, I want to preface with, this isn't something that I'm saying is good or that it's just my read on it, potentially. But, oh, hi, buddy. We're seeing a lot of really blustery talk from the Iran side, particularly from the IRGC, whereas the president of Iran is, he's a little bit more soft about it in his messaging and a little bit more level-headed, quote unquote. But with the Lego AI memes and the Speaker of the Parliament talking like that,
and with the IRGC stuff, I do think they've gained a lot more power. Which, when we're talking about this was all for nothing, and like them talking about regime change,
right?
They killed the old ass Ayatollah who had a religious fatwa against racing to a nuclear weapon, and now they've installed a more radicalized one who's had his family killed. You cannot even begin to imagine how big of a fuck up this is.
So that's the thing. I think we as outsiders looking in have no real grasp on just how powerful or powerless these new leaders in Iran are. What their capabilities really are.
We have a little bit of an idea.
A little bit.
There are things, when I'm talking about stuff I can't even begin to fathom. I was telling you about, you probably know the name of that giant radar plane.
Yeah, the E3 or EC3, whatever the fuck it was.
This giant $300 million plane.
Mm-hmm.
At first the reporting is that it had been damaged. We'll insert it. We don't need to look for it now. We'll insert a picture here of what it looks like. It hasn't been. It's gone.
Fuselage is
there's it's unusable forever.
Yeah.
Could you ever imagine a
right? So couple things. That's one.
That's not one. We've had, what was it? 3 F-15s that they said fell out of the sky.
Sure.
We had an F-35.
That's another.
Also,
that's 2 that I'm counting on my hand.
No, that's 5 right there. That's 5.
Oh, I mean
warplanes.
instances.
I'm
grouping them together.
The USS Gerald Ford had to dock in Crete because it's inoperable for the next
3,
2 years.
Right? Yes.
The Abraham Lincoln is being chased out of the Arabian Sea.
All I'm saying is that
it is
right. All I'm saying is that these are things where it's not like the entire.
Sure, but these are things that we could never even fathom happening.
Sure. Right. But I'm saying that we're not getting our asses absolutely kicked. We are still very much, we have air superiority. We've got, and I think that as we were just talking about a couple months ago, the terrifying power of the Palantir, what do you call that? Military, industrial, fucking digital overlord, God's eye view thing that they've got.
Sure.
Is probably feeding intelligence to Trump and his cabinet, things that we obviously are fully not privy to. And I think that Iran is doing a great job of presenting to the American people via social media and to the world that they are a lot stronger than they might actually be. And that doesn't mean that they can't put up fights and they can't do damage.
So funny. I don't think that they're I'm not getting the impression that they're strong. Like I was saying before, I understand the limitations, and this is complete asymmetric warfare.
Yes.
You're talking about a country with like a $10 billion defense budget, and then you're talking about our $1 trillion plus, and they're just ramming $30,000 drones into them,
right?
And it's just decimating our like $300 million dumbass radar plane that we never expected to use because all we were was this weird, bloated, Cold War industrial defense thing. That was never actually supposed to, go into.
It's not built for this.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like, wow, they're so strong. I'm like, wow, we are
It'd be like
paper tiger.
It'd be like trying to take on a swarm of fucking mosquitoes with a gun.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, you start blasting, you're gonna hit some, but man,
And
you're gonna get
talking
bit.
about like air superiority. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen that guy Robert Pape, who's come into prominence again because of he wrote a book a long time ago called "Bombing to Win," and it's talking about how you can't, if you want to do regime change or anything like this, you can't just drop bombs. And
Yeah.
he's basically
people don't like that.
he basically goes through and he's like, we don't have a single instance where that was a successful way to go through regime change. So they can continue to carpet bomb Tehran. Anyone who's familiar with history, we dropped a lot of bombs in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It did not achieve the goals we were going for.
What I'm right, I agree. I think I think that as the clock is ticking and both sides are feeling the pressure and the squeeze, it is also, it's not asymmetric because obviously Iran is in a tough position and they know that they can't keep this up forever. And it's kind of like all right, if you want to keep hurting us, we'll take it because we can handle it. We've got nothing to lose.
Who, Iran or
Iran,
the U.S.?
yeah.
Well, they're also fighting for their survival,
Exactly.
right? They're not.
Yeah. They've got everything to lose.
Right.
Well, like nothing and everything at the same time. But yeah, I just think that I just feel like we're more likely close to a de-escalation at this point than we are to further escalation. I hope. And I think that
I hope you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want, this is,
and I think that there's just a lot of bluster and posturing on both sides that are taking place. But behind the scenes, cooler heads, China, Pakistan, are really trying to make sure that this all gets resolved where everybody can at least feel like they've won. Trump is so easy to appease and make him feel like he's coming out on top. And Iran's, man, like I said, just let them fucking collect the tolls that they want to do. And then they get to use that money and
rebuild.
so what that they've now got control. They've got more control over the thing. Yeah, God, I just wish that.
I just don't know if it's as simple as that. I mean, okay, collect some tolls. We decimate, like, not just their oil infrastructure. The latest thing was their steel infrastructure. Everything.
Yeah, they don't trust us. That's why I'm hoping that we can get some kind of mediation going on here. But
yeah, there's got to be a way out of this. It's obviously. I mean, I'm just very worried for any developing country, any poorer country is going to have, I think, severe impacts. I think it's, and a lot of these countries in Europe who are Southern Europe has not been having a great time in recent history. All these places that are saying no to having their bases used, Italy, Spain. Obviously, I think about my own family in Greece and stuff. It's like they're going to be hit very hard. It's very disorienting talking to people, being like, I booked my flights for Greece in June or July or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's not a thing. I'm annoyed because I can't. At least I'm not making any plans to go see my family anytime soon because it doesn't seem like a great idea. And if anyone who's traveled there, they probably know these countries, they run differently than the U.S. There's always, if you've been to Greece and you were able to like escape a weird cancellation of a ferry or any kind of disruption, you're very lucky. But with all of this going on, I mean, I don't know how you're going to get your ass on a ferry trying to go have your little Santorini Mykonos vacation. People going like, oh, I'm going to Sicily. I'm like, are they going to have fuel to get the ferry over there? It feels like a lot of people are living in different realities right now, but But I hope this. I want this to all be resolved.
I just think, I guess my takeaway for people is I want them to have a sense of what to look for, because the market is always giving clues, and if you want to, you can follow the price. Just Google like Brent oil price, or WTI oil price, and if you just start to
Brent
see if
was
it's going
down
down
today.
Yeah. I mean, it dropped on this. I think a lot of this.
Yesterday was 114. Now we're sitting at 103.65.
That's nice. But
That's nice.
there are there's some bad things happening
Are you Christy
also.
Gnome's husband's giant fake tits? Because that's nice.
Inflation expectations have skyrocketed. Let's pull up that.
Are you
thing.
Christy Gnome's husband's giant fake tits? Because inflation is
skyrocketing.
skyrocketing.
In a sudden turn of events, U.S. 12-month inflation expectations have surged to 5.2%, the highest level since March 2023. In just 3 weeks, markets have gone from pricing in rate cuts to rate hikes. Remember, folks, market want rates to go down. Market don't like rates to go up.
Oh my God. Wasn't it before the war? The Fed was basically talking about how we're going to have like consecutive
cuts?
Consecutive cuts?
Yeah. Well,
now look at us.
Jerome Powell was just giving a speech at in front of some college kids, I think, and he said that they are just watching the situation in Iran and not acting yet. So that's good. Then you had this strategist from Apollo, which is another big financial institution, saying that it's sentiment destruction, not demand destruction that's taking place. AKA people feel bad and they're going to be like, damn, man, like oh, what are we going to do? Oh, shit, But they're still going out and they're still spending like normal. So it's not
when they
yet.
talk about the demand destruction thing, I'm like, what is that? You cannot destroy the demand for oil.
Right. I'm talking about the consumer broadly.
Sure, but it's like, if you got to pick your kid up from school, what are you going to do? Go like, well, I actually don't anymore because of oil.
Right. It's a vibe, to quote Kyla Scanlon. It's a vibes thing and might not necessarily translate. This might not be prolonged enough for it to actually have an effect on.
No, I know. I just think it's a weird way of talking about it. Like if
that's just what this guy said.
I just don't think it's like even to talk about it as if it's demand. It's like if there was like some shortage of a component for TVs or whatever, so they got very expensive. It's like, yeah, sure. Well, okay, I don't need a fucking TV this week. But if I got to go to work, how are you going to destroy my demand? I'm going to go sit in the lines and pay $8 a gallon. If it goes to $8 a gallon, I'll still fill my tank.
Yeah, same.
If it goes to $10
truck.
a gallon, I'll probably fill my tank.
Yeah, I'll probably walk more or take the damn bus. And well, this guy also went on to say that this volatility, these few weeks of volatility, will blow over, which is all right. Like I hope so. All right, a couple quick things. Did you see this the post from Michael Saylor?
Oh, with the weird AI.
Holy shit. We have to play this. So Michael Saylor, for those of you who may not remember, is the CEO of MicroStrategy, now just called Strategy. And he's created these other entities, these other financial instruments based around it. And they're all so fucking convoluted. And one of them is this ticker STRC, which I guess promises like an 11% dividend, which is huge.
Let's look at the first response.
He keeps giving you hints, but you retards won't ever learn. And it says to save. All right, so let's. It's this AI generated ad featuring a beautiful woman. Go for it.
Are you on vacation here?
I live here. I'm retired. I just don't think I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life.
Wow, how did you make it?
I worked hard as an engineer to save money. Again. Then I put my savings into Stretch.
What is Stretch?
Stretch is a stock. Right now I get about 11% a year in dividends. Nice.
It's the Stretch, yeah, the Stretch 11%.
Wait, let that song play, man.
Monthly cash dividends, tax deferred.
I love the little.
Oh my God.
Nice.
And it's not. I think that's just the AI.
Also very funny to in this moment use a woman, like a digital nomad living on an island. It's the last. If you're a digital nomad watching this right now, I would try to come home.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, no kidding.
If you're like in Fiji or where do they go? Like Bali or something. Or you know what? Stay. Maybe if you're a digital nomad, I take that back. Stay where you are.
There you are. Buddy.
Stay where you are. Shelter in place.
Shelter in place. So there was that. I really thought that was funny. There was one more thing. Go to the guy. I wanted to share with you guys this fella's response to my tweet about Tesla. I tweeted about Tesla last week and Elon Musk, and this guy KC Chiefin at KC Chiefin Gas responded to me and said it was a negative tweet that I made, and he said,
"Wait, let's see the tweet."
Yeah, let's see the
you can at
original
least
tweet.
have the
Scroll up.
context. Just scroll up.
I said it's unreal how Elon can keep dangling his keys in front of his infantile fanboys, and they just keep drooling and clapping. And this guy wrote, "Success pisses you off, loser, huh?" And then someone else responded, "Found the dick rider." And then this guy responded again, "Found the loser leftist that adds zero value to the world that is also ironically gargling my nuts right now."
Ironically, I'm gargling his nuts. Ironically, I want everyone to know that.
Someone else said, "Is that your fantasy?" And then Casey Chiefin said, "Get back in your Xbox, loser. Lol, gamers like you are leftist losers because the outside world is too stressful to be seen in. You're likely overweight and hate yourself. Enjoy that, fatty."
Well,
Cry more. Hurry to your safe space, gamer boy. What the fuck? I just thought that was amusing. Casey Chiefin, man.
Hey, keep chiefing that stuff.
Keep chiefing it, dude. Did you see?
Ask me if I saw one more thing.
Well, there's just been so much, but Mark Andreessen with retard maxing.
I did not.
Well, sir, here you go. Here's Mark Andreessen.
That's what I'm saying. When there's too much stuff going on, I'm like, okay, you guys got to go over here for now. I can't deal with you and your shit. I'm
enjoy
trying
this. You'll like this.
Retard maxing is totally politically correct because retard is no longer. I mean, we now have 18 other terms that apply to people who are like developmentally disabled, and so like retard has long since it now means something completely different. And it turns out what it means specifically in the context of retard maxing. Well, let me explain why I came.
Can you pause it for a second?
The internet meme.
It's so fun. We talk about it all the time.
Wow, he's so cool.
But that brief moment they had of cultural relevance, that like post-election glow where they were like, sorry, been a culture shift. There has never been a swifter, like, I used to know like normal guys who were like, yeah, it used to just be fun when you could say like retard and gay or whatever, who are now just like, ew, like these guys are
they're
horrific.
Overdoing it.
The entire culture, you guys have just, you're horrible. You're so off-putting. You guys squandered any kind of goodwill.
They're like guys that how do I phrase this? Just guys that are late to a meme or a joke or something. Like I can see him being like, it's like that Chill Guy meme. You remember Chill Guy? Or like making a fucking Chuck Norris. Did you? Chuck Norris doesn't die. Heaven, levels up or something like that. Just like
Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door.
Oh yeah,
cool, dude.
Oh, did you hear this one? Shut the fuck up. So I don't even want to play the rest of it now. He just sucks so much shit. Well, I think
the problem.
What?
These guys, they may not have the cultural power, but they do have the actual real power.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. That's our one consolation. They'll never get to be cool.
Yeah. No, they really won't. Let's see. Let's go to the comment of the week, shall we? That's a nice place to stop it. I put a screenshot in the Slack. By the way, we didn't even get to Kash Patel having his email account hacked by the Iranian.
Which is... It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Him just
sniffing a cigar. They found his like porn.
Also, anytime this stuff happens, I'm like, I don't know. Hackers do this every so often where they're like, look what we can do. And I'm like, go for it then. Release the Epstein files. Delete everyone's medical debt.
Well, it kind of stops. It kind of stops at like they hacked his Gmail account, which is still pretty cool.
I mean, hack Donald Trump's.
Do something, man. Yeah, they said if we can do this with your highest, person in your FBI, imagine what else we can do. Yeah. So the comment of the week is from Surfin' Jam Cribs. Oh boy, it's Christian Finance Hour on YouTube, and I really like that because that's a major throwback.
Throwback. We're doing vintage style stuff.
Back when we were the #1 Christian finance podcast, which we still are.
The market is back. It rallied 2.5% today. We've never been so back. We're never going to die.
Did you see that TMZ is ramping up their political
coverage? Yeah,
that is fucking awesome, and everybody's
you like that.
Everybody's rallying around it and saying that it's a good thing. I think it's great. Hold those bitches to account.
How are they? What are they going to do?
I don't know.
Annoy them at
shame them.
Sure.
They were showing Lindsey Graham holding a bubble wand at Disney World.
That's what scared me. The reporting that Lindsey Graham said that he's telling Donald Trump to start winding this down.
Why does that scare you?
Because this is the most hawkish man in the country. Maybe his whole thing was like the make Iran great again.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. He's been pushing for war in Iran for God knows how long. What has he seen that he's like, actually wind it down?
He's probably seeing the sentiment in the fact that nobody is happy with this. And that, oh shit, maybe this is a bad idea.
Do you think that man gives a shit about sentiment?
I think when the midterms could be in jeopardy.
Come on.
I don't know, maybe.
The man who's literally in Disney World right now as
I'm having a great time. I've got my bubble wound.
But now for the first time in his life, he's making a claim off of sentiment.
Well, what do you think he could have seen?
What an actual disaster this is. So when you're talking about like the hopeful, rosy outlook of America's military might,
not rosy outlook, just we're not as weak as we might think, as we know, because we do have these tools and shit that are far more advanced. But again, it's like having a gun to a mosquito fight. We gonna shoot the mosquito with a gun?
Imagine a guy trying to shoot a mosquito with a gun. And it's Kristi Noem's husband. He's got those big fake tits on.
And he's shooting it and they're just bouncing all over the place and it's turning him on, so he's getting a boner because he likes shooting guns and feeling the titties bounce. Man, that poor bastard, man. He's the main character today. He's the main.
Hardly. There could not be a better.
He was the main character for 15 minutes.
Sure, there could
which
not
is
be.
Bad enough.
There could not be a better time to fight for everyone to find out that you like putting on big fake tits and as Kristi Noem's husband
and just the
because I think most people are like there's too much. I cannot think about Kristi Noem's husband right now.
And it's like one thing if you're the main character for cheating on your wife or being a racist.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that he does this. I like it.
I like it too, but fuck, dude, because he even acknowledged in some of the DMs that were leaked between him and the bimbos. That's what they call themselves, because that's the whole thing is they're giant fake boobs. Did you see a couple times he was like, "I really love my wife and I'm gonna try to get better," and then he would just like disappear. And
which is sweet.
Because he's like, I reckon that shows that he's embarrassed and he has shame.
No, but he shouldn't.
I agree, but in the context of a marriage,
I like that he loves his wife. And
yeah,
I think there should be a world where he loves his wife and he can still be married to his weird dog killing horrific woman of a wife.
Woman of a husband. She is a woman of a husband. Someone. Oh God, I didn't see that one. Oh. Brother, what is this one though? What is this fetish?
I want to be clear. There's nothing wrong with this, and I like it.
I don't mind. It's fine.
Like it's something I might get into.
I'm not. This is like that meme of the guy sweating, picking which button. It's like, do you kink shame the guy or like?
What is there to kink shame? This is great.
It's just a bummer all around. Wow, is that young Kristi Noem in a cowboy hat?
That is young
Christine Bryan. His name is spelled Bryon.
God, if Polymarket existed in 1992 and I could have bet all my money on whether or not Kristi Noem would have been wearing a cowboy hat to her wedding, I would have been a rich man.
That's a fucking 10-gallon hat if I ever seen one.
I would have been a rich man.
And then she was getting plugged and wheelbarrowed around by Corey Lewandowski, which
I
sucks.
know.
This poor guy, man.
Seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in this
I hope
marriage.
he doesn't kill himself.
Why would he?
Because this is so humiliating. It might turn him on though, because this is so humiliating.
I'll tell you what, a man who loves big giant boobs that much,
but wearing them,
never kill yourself.
and becoming them, it's such a strange thing that he also.
I don't find it strange. I can relate. I sometimes want the big boobs on myself. I like it.
There you have it, folks.
I like that he included the hard nipples. All of it works for me.
I wonder what they were under there. Balloons?
Raisins? Oh.
Raisins taped to balloons?
Well, if they were balloons, I guess you wouldn't have to because they have the little
nipple on there anyway,
Yeah.
the little butthole.
Yeah, which is nice of balloons to do for you.
Yeah.
And hey, there's a nipple included.
I wanted to make sure we got everything, man. Did we get everything? Yeah, we did.
You couldn't possibly get everything. You couldn't possibly get everything.
Yeah, we kind of did.
If you're still watching and you consider yourself one of the hoes who is scared, don't worry, baby.
One of the hoes who is scared.
It's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
Your Euro vacation this summer is not going to be disrupted.
It's
at
okay,
all.
sweetie.
You're going to be having so much fun.
You're going to be having so much
in
fun.
Portugal. Don't even worry about it.
All
You're
right,
going to be
gang.
having so much fun in Rome.
It's going to be a great summer.
In Venice.
My prediction, though, because the market, this is a short week. Market's closed on Friday in observation for Easter Sunday. I think that we're probably going to bounce for a week or two and then maybe see some lows again into the month of April. But then I think as this thing winds down and as people, don't forget, people and the markets have short memories and short attention spans. And I think that if this drags out, the headlines are going to have less and less of an effect on the markets. If that's something that you're paying attention to, if that's something that you care about, that's old Benny Boy's prediction.
I think
especially as we've been now programmed to not believe anything.
I think
we don't know what to fucking believe.
I think that's right. And we've been shown many times that the market is pretty detached from reality.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, the market could be fine.
But your gas might be $8 a gallon.
Your gas, food could get way more expensive. Travel.
I think it's safe to say, go to Costco, go to the grocery store.
I don't like the people doing the
full on.
It just scares me. Where they're like, I'm not even being a doomer. I'm just saying, go ahead and get yourself 10 pounds of grain, a bunch of dried beans, get yourself canned vegetables.
I mean, you should have that stuff anyway for emergencies, but it's never a good idea to go and just stock up. Just every time you go to the grocery store, buy a couple extra things. That's all. That's all. It's okay.
I don't want to do this.
It's not
man.
gonna happen.
I don't
man.
want to do
Don't worry.
this.
Everybody just who, me worry? You're talking about the COVID guy, all right? The guy who was like, everything's gonna. I don't feel that way this time.
Which I find so strange.
I just don't.
You know why?
This is man-made.
Because you're so market focused. I think when you were thinking about COVID, you were so market focused. You might not get the big market crash.
Yeah.
But we could get unavoidable pain.
But I think that because I turned to the market for more truth, and even though you could have made that same argument leading up to the crash for COVID, it was like, well, the market was showing complacency until it fully was reflecting reality. I think that I don't know. I just think that going into this whole thing.
I also will say you never know. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people were calling it in February 2020, but for a lot of just normal people, no one had any idea until it actually came upon us.
Right. And the difference now being everybody's aware of this. Everybody's, I don't know. I don't know.
It feels that way like among online community. Like I was saying, you talk to some people who are like, we just booked our flights for we're going to the Amalfi Coast in July.
We're going to Tehran. We're going to Tehran.
Oh, brother, I don't think
we're going to vacation in Hormuz. We're going to watch ships go by.
Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I think we are pretty hooked in online, and I don't think everyone else is. And so maybe they're living a different thing.
Let's see what the market doing. Market is still up a little bit after hours. I mean, that's not. We also had a big volume day today, which is really, really good. That's what you want to see at a tradable bottom. And I think that can lead. That is also conveying to Trump that the market, which is what he ultimately really, really cares about, wants and supports this thing to end as quickly as possible, no matter what. And I think that he is prepared to start doing that. Is my hope.
That is my hope among everything, is that Donald Trump can just take the L, walk away, brother. And
My
you don't
hope
even,
is above everything is that he fucking dies.
you don't even have to. Well, I'm looking for like most realistic. Well, I guess it's not completely unrealistic, but just you don't even have to actually take the. You can tell everyone it was your big win and it's
Yeah.
a W. And
See that fucking pathetic video of him dancing with the sword at the
Dude.
Marines thing, and JD Vance going, and
Usha
his
looks
wife.
deeply uncomfortable.
Oh, she's like, can you believe this? Oh my god,
Ugh.
God, and you know she's going into the bathroom, just going like, you fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, God, I just want him to. I wish he fell on that sword. I wish he did seppuku right there in front of the world.
That would be really cool for us.
You know what I'm gonna do? They said I couldn't do seppuku, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you in the bonus, guys. BenAndEmilShow.com.
Bye.
Coming up on this week's episode of BenAndEmilShow.com.
Sauce on side like our rock sauce, like zip sauce. Okay, no
She-
butter on
she
stones
says
like our
that
rock
like You
sauce.
should know what a zip sauce is.
Well, because it's like
Can
it's
you
their
play that
rock
one-
sauce,
Can you play that one more time?
which is like a zip sauce.
Do you know what a zip sauce is?
It's their zip sauce, dude. I don't know.
Gotta
It's
keep
like,
it moving a little bit. The yellow sauce that you guys see on the side is our rock sauce. It's like a zip sauce. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm Googling what is zip sauce. If you went to a thing and they were like, this is our smoke seasoning. It's like an Old Bay.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
be like, what the fuck's an Old Bay?
Yeah, you know what's great is you then can ask them, what's Old Bay? Or what's zip sauce? It's not like you're stuck. Damn, I don't know what that is. Shit. There's no way of knowing how this sauce will taste.
I'm on their menu now.
Also, I'm not upset.
Well, to be fair, it looks like all their locations are in Michigan. So it makes
yeah, that certainly is fair.
you are the 10th dentist in life.
I'll be watching a video.
But you don't realize you're the 10th dentist. That's the
Sometimes
problem.
I'm number 9 or number 7.
You know what your problem is?
What?
You're the 10th dentist, but you don't realize it.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
That's
I
not
think your
true.
life would be a lot easier if you knew you were a 10th dentist.
Brother, you know that I have very regular, normal opinions on other things.
You have a lot of... My guy.
10th dentist stuff, but sometimes I'm number 1 dentist.
You came home from China and said, I just kind of thought the food would be like Chinese food in America. It was kind of disappointing.
You don't understand. It was all fucking hot pot. And it was just like, oh, yeah, here's some fucking boiled chicken.
You're the 10th
Enjoy.
dentist, and that's okay. I think that's the thing. Did you watch Entourage?
No.
You didn't watch
You make
Entourage?
it sound like I watched it this week. Did you watch Entourage?
Did you watch Entourage?
No.
That is a 10th dentist activity. Everyone's
Watching Entourage or not having seen it?
not having seen it. When I was that age, everyone was watching Entourage. It's like you've never watched Game of Thrones because you're the 10th dentist.
Fuck. Well, I'm watching Mad Men, so that's a 10th dentist.
Had you not
that
seen it
negates
before?
No, I hadn't.
10th dentist energy. We all watched it when it came out. Did you see The Sopranos? 10th dentist.